Welcome to the build and the history of the MBR 972 Osprey road car. This is going to be a series of videos showing the build processes that I go through, engineering techniques that I've used, and general information about the car and the racing series that we've been involved in. I apologise for the first few videos because these were shot during COVID, and I wasn't really into filming that much, and the orientation of the cameras ran the wrong way. So as I go through the videos, this is going to improve, because obviously I've sussed out how to do a bit better filming. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, and please, once you've watched this one, carry on watching the rest of the series. Thank you. This is the MBR Osprey 972. I'm going to be doing a few clips over the next few weeks to show all you guys the build processes, the design processes, and all the things that happen under the car when you're building a sports car to go on the road. I'll also be telling you some history about the car. Well, going on from the history, MBR started racing these cars back in 1997. And we raced through to 2001. We've got two cars in the workshop at the moment. This is the third car we built, and the other car is the fourth car we built. Car one unfortunately got damaged and destroyed in an accident at Donington Park, and car two got sold to a race school, Thruxton Race School. And it's the reason why I've decided that to do something with this car. We built this as a second corporate car for Thruxton. They were very interested, and the first car went extremely well, and they decided that they might want another car. So we built this car basically as a corporate car. All the other cars that we built were aluminium honeycomb cars. This was a space frame car, so a lot easier to build, a lot cheaper to build, but obviously hasn't got all the weight advantages and the handling advantages of a honeycomb car. Just to show you what the car that we sold to Thruxton, I've got the brochures here from when we sold it. It was a big gig at Thruxton. It was their #1 attraction. There's the car at the front, their brochure, and as you can see, as you come across, it was quite a good gig to run in it. Right, you'll have to excuse my filming because I'm not that brilliant a cameraman, and even probably worse presenter, but here we go. Right. First question is, why have I decided to do this? Well, in the back end of 2003, Thruxton had Mercedes come along, and basically after saying they would like the car, Mercedes offered them a bucket load of cars. They didn't have the track time to run the existing car or this one, so they actually canned it and put Mercs in instead, which is a bit of a shame, but so we were left with the car. This car actually ran, if you look at some of the pictures I'm posting, for the first time in 2003 at Castle Combe on the 26th of August. Ran very well, but to run the car, what we did, we were a bit sneaky. We nicked bits off of that car and put it on this car, like the engine, gearbox, so on and so forth. Now, the engine that's in this car is actually a Rover V8 rather than the race engine that we used to use in the original Thruxton car, because the original Thruxton car had a Metro 6R4, which was a V6 engine, and this is a V8 engine, so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more difficult to package in, but we did manage to package it in. Right, well, I'm coming up to the end of my first few minutes on this clip, so the next one is I'll go into a bit of detail about why I started to do this. First thing I forgot to mention on part one was why it's called 972 an Osprey. Well, the first name for the car was actually called 972, and you might ask why. Well, the car was designed in 1997, and it was a class 2 car, so hence 972, and it was also quite handy. Probably the most successful car, endurance cars of all time, was a Porsche 962, and then obviously the number was very close to that. We decided to add the Osprey name when we started to go corporate, because an Osprey sounds a lot better than just a set of numbers, so hence Karen came up with the idea of Osprey. Whilst I'm going through the whys and wheres and so on and so forth, I'm going to show you some close-up shots of the cars whilst I'm droning away. Right, okay, so what happened with the car? What I did, where did it come from? Well, at the end of 2003, after we tested it, we decided that we'll just basically put it up in the loft. So we did. It went up in the loft and stayed up there. And when I sold the race team in 2013, I didn't want to touch another car for love nor money. But after a year, I started getting itchy feet, and I decided at the back end of 2014 to bring the car that was in the loft down and see what we could do with it. My first thing to do was actually phone up the DVLA and ask if I could put it on the road. And because the car was over 10 years old, and it had run in 2003, they said yes, they're quite happy for me to go on the road, and it didn't need an IVA test. And whether it still needs one or it doesn't, I don't really mind, because I've built it to all the regulations anyway. So, but the good news is I can actually put it on the road. Right, so why did I decide to do it? Well, I wanted something to keep me occupied in the evenings, and I couldn't put this car as a race car or a track day car, because simply put, it just wasn't good enough, but it's ideal for road car use. When I brought it down, my plan was, I'll get all this done in a year. As you can imagine, it hasn't quite been finished in a year. So, but I'm still plodding on. My main thing when I started this project, I must enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, what's the point of doing it? So I think I'm going to probably enjoy putting the car together as much as I am driving around the car, because it is basically just a big toy. And but it's given me something to do, and I'm loving the engineering side of it. Michelle's quite a good designer as far as making things look pretty goes, and so her gig was the dash, which you can see here it's almost, it's getting close to being finished, and Adam's gig was to design a new rear end, because of the cost of transmission on the other car was somewhere in the region of getting up for £18,000, and I put this one together for a lot less than that. Probably almost a tenth of it. So yeah, I'll come back to transmissions later on when I'm doing my the transmissions bit. Right, so yeah, that's where we are. That's why I've decided to do it. And right, the next thing I'm going to be going on to after this is engines. Here we are with the engine, the heart of the car. Before I tell you all about different engines we've put in the car, I'll give you a bit of technical description on how you actually mount engines into cars. There is basically three ways of mounting an engine into a car. There is unstressed, semi-stressed and fully stressed. Now, an unstressed engine is basically one, standard shopping car, standard road car. Basically, it's held in with a couple of rubber mounts here. On this engine, it's held in by there normally by a couple of rubber mounts, and the engine just basically flops around inside the chassis. Next up, I'll go to fully stressed, which is the sort of engines they use in Formula 1, where the engines are particularly designed to take the chassis load. So the engine is bolted straight to the back of the chassis, and then all the suspension is bolted straight off the gearbox onto the engine. All the loads going through the engine. Now, obviously, a sports car, we've got a lot of room, not like a Formula 1 car, so we can use a bit of both worlds. The engine isn't fully stressed, but it's what we call semi-stressed. Now, to show you what I mean by semi-stressed, obviously, if you look here, the engine is solidly mounted down there, and it's solidly mounted into the adapter plate, and then on the adapter plate here, there's these rails coming back to the chassis. Now, these rails take a lot of the chassis load, and all the chassis load is not going through the engine, but some of the loads are going through the engine. So this is what's called a semi-stressed engine. Okay, next up, why did we choose the Rover V8? Well, initially, when we first started the project off, we started with a Ford V6 Scorpio, because all the cars that had to race had to be based on a production engine in the championship. You couldn't run a proper race engine like Cosworth DFE or whatever. It had to be a V6 or a 6-cylinder, and it had to be production. So we initially started off with a Ford Scorpio engine, which was, to summarise, was just a load of rubbish. So we changed over to the Metro 6R4 engine. Now, obviously, the first cars we ran had that engine in, but it's a very expensive race engine. So for a corporate car, we didn't want to use a Rover V8, sorry, a Metro 6R4. So we went to the Rover V8. Now, the block on the Rover and the block on the Metro 6R4 are exactly the same. When they produced the 6R4 motor, they got the block and just literally cut 2 cylinders off the front. So obviously, for installation purposes, for me changing from the 6R4 to the V8 Rover, it was fairly simple, because all the bolts pattern that goes around here to hold the adapter plates to the engine, all exactly the same. We just had to find a bit of room at the front of the car up here to put it all in. So that's a bit about the installation. I was going to use, for cost reasons, a previous engine we had, which is over here. Now, if you come over here, you might see those two lots of welding. Well, that welding was rather unfortunate. We put it in one of the trucks over the winter. I had drained all the water out of it, but obviously not enough, and we cracked the block. Now, I was going to use that engine in the car, but I decided that maybe not. And this one came up on eBay for sale out of a Land Rover Defender, I think it was, for 150 quid. Now, if you look at the pictures I'm going to load, you'll see in the back of a van, there's a sort of engine looking thing in the back of it, and that is the engine, how it started out, and the other pictures that I show you is obviously building the engine up. Now, to convert a road car engine to a race car engine, you've got to do several things. Number one, the first thing is the oil system you have to tackle, and this is what we call a dry sump. And if you look down there, I've made my own dry sump. I'll go the other side, it's a bit easier. Dry sump we had to make. Then I went through the whole engine. It's got a different camshaft in it. I've rebuilt it all, ported the engine. You can see probably down here a bit better some of the pipes leading out. I'll go into that later on the oil system when I'm doing the oil system section on it. And basically built the whole engine up all the way through. And yeah, it's a great little engine. It's a 3.9 rather than 3.5. It's got a Metro 6R4 flywheel on it with an AP racing clutch. Electrics are all going to be by injection rather than a carburettor. I'm not too keen on carburettors. And this is the throttle system that I've designed for the car as well. Totally different from the Rover one, but it seems to work quite well. Okay, that's a bit about the engines. Over and out. Thanks for watching. Please could you press the like and subscribe icons and watch out for the next video. Thank you.